This is interesting as well. Teams that have improved the most in free agency from CBSSports.com. Chris Trapasso says the Browns absolutely had improved their defensive front. Did so with Tomlinson as well as Okunrankwo. Super rangy Juan Thornhill. Defense has gotten noticeably better on paper. They retained Ethan Posick. They went out and got Jordan Akins, sneaky good signing. And then the Elijah Moore trade was a cherry on top. I agree with all of that, but we've said for the last couple of years their roster was good on paper. We got to see it on the field.
Yeah, definitely. I think despite the solid offseason they've had, they didn't make any big sexy moves. Like they were linked to Jesse Bates, they're linked to Javon Hargrave. They went out and filled the needs that they needed to on the roster. But like you said, Dave, they've won the offseason how many years in a row? All it comes down to is Deshaun Watson going to get back to form? Is this offense with all the new parts and pieces going to take off to what we expected to be a top 10 offense? At the end of the day, it all comes down to whether or not Deshaun Watson is the guy we traded 3 first-round picks for, the guy we invested $230 million into, fully guaranteed. They can make all the moves they want, but at the end of the day, if Deshaun Watson doesn't pan out, it's not going to be a good season for the Cleveland Browns.
So you see the additions of Goodwin and Moore. What do you see the offense kind of evolving to? And Akins, has some familiarity with Watson. What gets added to this offense, do you think?
I think you're going to see a lot more shotgun, because with Musgrave coming in, who Stefanski has the background with, that's what he ran a lot in college when he was the OC in Cal. I think Stefanski's going to incorporate some of those aspects into the game. I think you're going to see a lot of 3, maybe even 4 more wide receiver sets. The addition of Akins is going to be fascinating, because do they line him up and do they line Njoku up in certain packages as wide receivers instead of the tight ends? I think this offense is going to look really different. There's so much versatile pieces on this offense. Goodwin and Moore can play the slot. They can play outside. They have the experience to do so. Cooper can kick inside and play slot. Like, there's so many parts and pieces. I'm fascinated. What is it like in Berea right now with Stefanski, with his offensive staff? How are they formulating this offense with all the new weapons, and how are they going to make this work? Because they have the talent. I think we both can agree with that. It's just a matter of putting the right game plans together and getting Deshaun Watson to be able to initiate this offense and to capitalize on all the new weapons he has to execute it, to get the Browns back into the playoffs.
I think the one thing that they have the ability to do now is get some easy yard. Everything last year was kind of a fight to get yardage in this offense. With guys that can play in space, you get some easy yards, and that's what this offense needs.
For sure. I mean, if guys can get open, the guys like Elijah Moore, Marquise Goodwin, even Cooper Peoples-Jones, if they can get open, they can eat yards and get down the field and put points on the board. I think this offense on paper right now looks like an offense that could score 25 to 30 points per game. It just all comes down to a game plan and execution. If Stefanski and Watson can execute this right, the Browns could be a team back in the playoffs. I might go hit the over on that, on the Browns over-under win total right now, just because on paper it looks like they can do it, but all it comes down to is execution.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing last year, and didn't go quite the way we thought it as well.